welcome to EVOTVTime. I don't even think that people realize just how weird things have gotten out here. And if that little cold open wasn't proof of it, I don't know what is. But as you can see, these little tweets, X post things that are scrolling, another perfect example as well, of people literally losing their minds on the left at the exact same time that our U.S. government, like him or hate him, but these are the facts, are trying to rescue a man who was shot down in an F-15, I think that's a plane, F-15, deep in Iranian territory, injured in the mountains. And these people, as you can see on your screen, are literally whining, screaming, and crying, confirming that President Trump is confirmed to be in critical condition at Walter Reed Hospital. And some of these people have huge followings. And I mean huge. And you see this stuff all the time. I'm not really on social media, and that is part of the reason why. I mean, it's like every time I go on there and I see a post, and some of these are like fake accounts. I know you guys know this, but I'll see something so ridiculous. I'm like, I think social media literally ruined us. And once again, the thumbnail, you can see Maximus like looking down at a phone and some tweet like why he's about to get killed. It's kind of how I feel kind of about the nature of civilization with smartphones and the internet. But anyway, like the IRGC will post something like, we just captured the Marines and the best Navy SEALs that there are out there, period, dot. And here's some images. These people have like millions of views, reposts, all that kind of stuff. And there's images like this. And I don't even know what I'm looking at. They're like pictures of random soldiers from like the 80s. It might as well be a movie. And people eat that up and they're spamming that stuff out there. I'm like, boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's how I feel about it pretty much. But what is up, friends? My name is Evo, if you're new here, and I will be your guide for the next few minutes, highlighting current events, including interviews, podcasts, news, the media at large, and the ever-evolving human culture that we live in, like it or not, and sometimes random things that I want you to know. For example, recently I was in Arizona, where I used to live visiting my parents. When I'm not visiting with them, I get around a little bit, maybe play a little golf if I'm lucky. And I hang out at this place called Trident. It's owned by Navy SEAL. They have a couple awesome restaurants in there. And during 2020, this is a short story, so please don't leave me. This is the sometimes random things I want you to know. And today, this is what it is. I'm sitting there because it's owned by Navy SEAL. So it was like a safe zone during like the pandemic and all that. Like you go in there like, oh, there's going to be normal people. You want to wear your mask? Like, oh, you can take it off the face diaper. It's like, I don't need it because I can smell a fart through this thing and paint too. And virus molecules are like microscopic, who cares? But it was always a safe zone. So I'm sitting there at the bar. One thing you never do at the bar, I know you guys know this. Never talk religion or politics at the bar. Who does that? But I'm sitting there and I know it's kind of a safe space, right? Don't leave. This is a short story. And there's an older gentleman. He's like 72 sitting next to me. And I just had to do it because this Iranian thing was like kind of in full force, just getting going. And I knew it's, once again, these are all kind of mostly like-minded people. You never know. But I couldn't help it. I'm like, hey man, once again, early 70s or something. I'm like, I hate to do this to you. You can engage or not, but I just got to ask you, like, what do you think about this whole Iran thing? He takes a deep breath and he looks at me and he goes, I don't know. But he says, this is the punchline. He says, I'll tell you what I do know, that every extra day that I'm on this earth, I feel more disconnected from reality. And I look at him and I'm like, bro, this is not a good headspace to be in. And I blame TV. I blame social media. I blame all kinds of stuff. And I, besides just almost falling off the bar stool, because I appreciate the candor, of course, but I was like, man, this guy's in his early 70s, kind of looked to be retired to me and just hanging out. And he's like, this guy's in like a terrible headspace. I'm like, oh, it's not supposed to be that way, which is pretty much what I told him. Here's my dilemma. And I've got some clips for you guys and we got some stuff to get into. So it's time to break it down. Here's my button. Oh. I'm in a dilemma. No man's land. I don't clickbait on the titles. I mean, not for that reason. I might try to put something exciting so I want you to watch these videos, obviously. But I don't say stupid stuff on there. But no man's land for me, just so you know, means that I am in this weird zone of politics and just news information, human beingness, if I could put it that way, that I'm not sure anyone else is, because there are conservatives and people that I rely on for the truth. Like next video, I'm going to skip all these shenanigans. I'm just going to break down the SAVE Act for you in the most pragmatic, normal way. And most everyone that I follow, respect, and watch are conservatives that just can say, like, this makes no sense. Birthright citizen makes no sense. People are taking advantage of us all over the place. They're coming here from China, and there's like literally like hostile brothels for like pregnant Chinese women. They're pumping them out and they're getting American citizenship. It's all broken. It's all out there. It's like previews, stuff like that. So I can break all that down for normal people. Those people, most of them, are the same people that will eat the Charlie Kirk assassination story up and pretend like it's no big deal. Whereas myself, I look at that and I know from day one that was complete garbage. The whole story was garbage. Before I even knew how to turn this crap on, a number of months ago, barely could figure it out. I tried to make a video. Here, I'll show it to you. What I think love looks like and what a special person he was to bring that kind of energy to a venue. Yeah, some of the last few moments he was alive, that's pretty deep. But the point of it is, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to show you a couple images. I'll float them on the screen here. Anyone who's ever handled a firearm like that and understands any form of reasonable pressure, or even knows people that have training like that, like I do, who've served in the armed forces. I have not, but, it sounds terrible, but I know people. But I've been out hunting and stuff, and I know that a kid like that, under duress in those circumstances, does not go up there and slip through everyone and sit there calm and cool and execute something so horrible with precision like that, because it was a professional job. And the details around it, which have already been proven upside down and sideways, of the direction of that shot, the exit wound in the front instead of the back, and all kinds of stuff. I'll spare you the clips. I could literally, it's already out there. So I don't want to do that, but I will show you these images. See if I can shrink them and put them on here for you. Hang tight. Okay. So here's the arrow, right? The university said the shooter fired on the Lucy Center, which is like way over here. The white arrow is pointing to where he is, which is like pretty much dead nuts-ish straight. Everything about that incident would suggest that the actual shot came from, I don't know, like all this stuff over here on the left where you see I highlighted in blue, where he started bleeding out and hemorrhaging at the front of his neck. So awful. I have clips. I saw it after it happened. I examined this thoroughly. And I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to bore you with any more of that. But what I'm here to tell you is that I knew from day one that was bogus. And most of the people that I follow just eat it up like it's the gospel truth, while including the president. So that leaves me in no man's land. Why do I tell you that? I tell you that because I struggle with like, well, all right, well, it's a lesser of two evils. And then everyone else is like, well, all these people now I'm just going to keep carrying on. I guess it's going to be a rant this evening. They're all something file protectors, file protectors. I have to use my words carefully, or my 12 subscribers will get eliminated or whatever. But am I missing something here? Like, I'm asking all of you, whoever catches this, honestly, the whole last 4 years, no one cared and did anything. And those people are not the same thing that everyone apparently is now. The something protectors that are just, they're only now is everyone like satanic worshiping something file protectors. In the last 4 years, when they knew all the same stuff and just let it sit there, they're good. Like, am I missing something? I feel like I am, because I just don't understand it. Because even like these sort of conservative America First people are just talking mad, about everyone a lot of people on the right, calling them that, and everyone in the administration that. I'm like, but if that's the case, then, I was a B student. I considered my talents to live in other places in my life, but that makes no sense whatsoever. Because then they all are. So we're all living in this like matrix of like everyone's living, like no one knows. And it's, like all the conspiracy movies you've ever seen where the world is run by bazillionaires that are doing these awful things. And maybe that's true. Okay. But then you can't just blame the current president for it. Like, he didn't make that up, obviously. You know, he was rich and doing his own thing. Everyone hated him anyway. Liked him and hated him, whatever. But like, it's not all his fault. So I have no idea what's going on there. But when I hear people say that, I'm like, I don't understand. Were you guys around the last 4 years? When that absolute invalid literally crapping himself?
What must be what? What must be what? What must be what?
And by the way, there's people getting millions of views. Like David Pacman is the biggest loser I've ever seen. Soy Boy he looks like Groot and Carrot Top had a baby and they were trans. Can't stand that kid. All he does is just like lie for clicks, and he has millions of followers and millions of views. I can't. You just go watch his videos. Watch him. It's just, it's very troubling. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, the file protectors. Mommy RN88. She's an incredible comedian and personality. I've watched so much of her stuff. She was famous for a lot of things in the comedy world, besides being a mother and a nurse. But she used to make fun of Kamala a lot, which, speaking of.
No.
Kamala, what did you do? You were in a happy hour on time. No, you can say anything you want here.
Probably should not have said that.
That's literally never going to get old. I've got new buttons on here. That's a new one. I can't wait to use it. I'm going to put some more on here. Anyway, she has this great breakdown of this. But when all this was going down, when the Democrats had power, Brandon, Joseph, she said it best.
It's obvious what's happening. There's way too many powerful people from both sides that are on it. So they literally all had a call like, yo, if I go down, you go down. Okay, so I guess none of us are going down. Okay, cool. I'm good with that. Get good with it, people.
Yeah, so for me, that's exactly how I see that whole situation. And it's impossible for you to just sit there and say, well, then now it's all this current administration's problem and their fault and they invented it. And I just, that's one of many things recently that just like literally blows my mind. What else did I have for you guys? Something important. I swear to God, when I go to make these videos for you guys, as I always tell you on these videos and in little bits and pieces, the news moves so fast that I can't even keep up with it. So when I finally formulate like something to say, I'm like, oh my God, did you see this? Or this and that, whatever. It's by intention to make us all crazy, of course. But if you're actually trying to cover it in somewhat real time, like tonight, we're supposed to have the ceasefire thing and Israel's bombing Lebanon out of nowhere. And I'm trying to see if Fox News covers it, and they sort of do, but they're ignoring it. So I don't even really know.
Well, then I get all excited. I'm like Jojo, the idiot circus boy with a pretty new pet. My little naughty pet, you're naughty. And then I take my naughty pet and I go. Oh!
Anyway, back to the premise of the video, No Man's Land. I really think that there is some really dark stuff going on out there, and it has to do with the premise from my perspective on even the best people that I follow for the best information believe that Charlie Kirk was actually killed by the gay kid, the alleged gay kid with the alleged trans lover. And that's the biggest bunch of horse shit I've ever seen. So sometimes when I'm like driving around, working, doing anything that I'm doing outside, talking to you guys here, I think about that. I'm like, this is so messed up. And a lot of the other people are just, once again, just like all over the place, just crapping on the president who's playing everyone. He always plays everyone. He creates hysteria. If you guys haven't noticed, on purpose. So I've seen these awful things, which he's like really good at. And then everything's okay because he's just like, I don't know, he's been 5 steps ahead of everyone, right or wrong, for a long time, if you haven't noticed. And his style is so unorthodox and crude and freaky. No one likes it. But here comes a rant. How do you negotiate with a country that will slaughter its own people? It's like trying to fight the tweaker at the bar for looking at your girlfriend's ass or something like that. He has nothing to lose. These people have nothing to lose. So you're going to go in with these good faith negotiations or send them like pallets of cash like Obama did. Like, I think we're going to be okay, and maybe they'll redistribute it and let the women come out of the house and show anything but their eyeballs later. It's going to be great. No, it doesn't work like that either. So, nothing about any kind of negotiation could possibly be conventional. It just doesn't work that way. So where the heck was I going with that? I wanted you to see this clip. I'm going to end with something positive, okay? And then the next 2 videos that you see me, I'll break down something very simple and we'll be so all over the place. And please watch my signal issue videos because I make them short, voiceovers only. I grab something that I can tangibly understand and use. And it's easier for me. So if you like this channel at all, please watch some of those. In the meantime, watch this. This was supposed to be conspiracy theory stuff. And, well, I really don't believe that it is. Ex-KGB agent from, I think, the 80s. You may have seen it, but I want you to watch it again.
Demoralization, it takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy, is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. They serve purpose only at the stage of destabilization of a nation. For example, your leftists in United States, all these professors and all these beautiful civil rights defenders, they are instrumental in the process of the subversion only to destabilize the nation. When their job is completed, they are not needed anymore. They know too much. Some of them, when they get disillusioned, when they see that Marxist-Leninists come to power, obviously they get offended. They think that they will come to power. That will never happen, of course.
Is that a conspiracy theory? Hopefully you see my point. I see a lot of that going on, and recently I saw this clip that was posted by the Boston Red Sox out of like nostalgia purposes, and I found it so interesting when it was brought to my attention because the clip is beautiful, and whether it was on X or however they posted it, they ended up having to turn the comments off because everyone was like, look at the America we used to have and look at what we did to it. Meaning like go to a shopping mall or out in public these days in a lot of cities in America, if you're brave enough to do that. And the kids, I mean, they're running around with their broccoli, low fade haircuts, you know, staring at their devices like this the whole freaking time, saying it's like, dead ass, bro, dead ass. And then you see these clips from the Red Sox on, you know, the opening game of the season. And to me, I guess I have a lot of respect for history these days more than I used to, but I want you to see this clip. So
Skyline bids welcome as it looms over the Charles River Basin. Tulips in the public gardens signal another New England springtime. Red Sox fans have had a long winter's wait, and they're always eager to be at Fenway for opening day. Yes, sir, let's go to the ball game. We're outside with the crowd right now on the Jersey Street side of the park. Time for that program, though. That scorecard, peanuts now. Baseball and Gansett a bit later. It's the opening of another baseball season, and the usual colorful ceremonies get things off to a good start. And another season is underway as the Boston team breaks onto the field. Well, here's the first pitch, and the season is officially underway.
I don't know. I guess you could call that the good old days. Maybe to you that's doesn't look cool at all. I don't really know. But what I do know is I'm going to leave you with something positive. Jordan Peterson is someone I've really learned to respect over the past couple of years. He always has something amazing to say if you're paying attention to things outside of religion, just for personal growth and stuff like that. So that's all I'm leaving you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like for me. Even subscribe. It feels right. I'll see y'all real soon. And I love you guys.
The problems of the day will take care of themselves. Don't worry about the future. That is not what that sermon says at all. Not even a bit. Not a bit. It says, align yourself firmly with what is the highest. So that's what you're committed to. So what is the highest? Well, we can argue about that, but we don't have to argue that much. Beauty, that okay. Yes. Truth, sure. Why not? Courage, yeah, that's a good one. How about love? What's love? The desire that everything will flourish, rather than the desire that everything will suffer. So you aim at that. Aim at the highest good you can conceive of. So we'll call that God, because we've got to call it something. And it's the integration of all things good. That's by definition. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in the good Well, the integration of all things good, that's the superordinate thing. It's ineffable. So that's God. Aim at that. And then concentrate on the day. And you'll get, not only, you won't even get what you want. Because what the hell do you know? You'll get way more than you could possibly imagine. And that's right. That's the adventure of the truth.